What is up guys, Andy Forrest Steam Runner here and welcome back to another workout video. Today what I want to do is take you guys through the very first workout in this brand new block that I'm doing and calling Need for Speed. Welcome back to another workout video, and today you join me out on the trails here in the Forest of Dean as we kickstart this Need for Speed block. Before we dive in to the workout today, which is a track style workout but done on the trails, just kind of a little bit of feedback I think is going to be required from you guys if you don't mind. So I'm going to be experimenting over the next however many weeks it is we do this block with the formats of the video, because obviously when we next go into a big training block I want to be able to sort of document my training again. But today and this week I'm doing it slightly differently. Today we're just recording one day, but I will try and talk about all of the week's training. So I have to be honest with you, it's been quite nice not taking the camera out on every run, being able to relax, kick back and enjoy, and it's something that I'm trying to fine-tune ready for the next training block. So I'd love to know what you think of the format of this video, guys. Let me know. I'll try and give you as much information as I can as we go. So I'm getting a 3-mile warm-up done today, and then we're heading back up that way to the flattest part of the trail that I can to get our drills and strides done, and then roll straight into the workout. Basic drills and strides done. So one of the reasons why we're doing this speed block is because I'm noticing I've been doing so much longer distance stuff this year that I'm really starting to get into that ultra shuffle mode. So I fail to use my knees to drive when I get tired in a race, and I start to use my hips to pull me, which obviously then gives you hip issues, which, touch wood, I haven't suffered with any massive hip issues this year, but I do notice my hip flexors kick in when they shouldn't. A great example, Forest Dean half marathon video, that last clip that James shared, you can see I'm over like this, dragging myself up the trail, form had collapsed, knees were not driving, hips were bent, it was horrific. So I think for me now, this speed block is going to be all about working on that economy, that efficiency, and hopefully 8 to 10 weeks of this will hopefully drill that back into my brain. I think it's so important that we do this speed work every now and again just to get our form back together. If we get a bit sloppy, you know the drill, we need to fix it as soon as possible. So that's one of the thinkings behind this. Now today the workout is on the cycle track, so this is sort of gravelly, hard standing trail, the usual stuff that I run on. And we got 6x400 and 4x200. And what I'm probably going to do with the 200s is I'll finish the last 400 up there, then turn that way, and there's a little hill. So we'll probably do the 200s up the hill, or I might not. I'll see how I feel. It depends how much I'm blowing out my backside. The whole idea of this is, as I said, to get economy and efficiency up. So this is where I've had some GPS black spots before. Hopefully we'll see how it goes. I'm not really going to be looking too much on time because I know I'm going to be taking it with a pinch of salt. This is GPS. This is not officially measured 400s and 200s. So we're going to take 2 seconds either way, or maybe 3 seconds either way, of what the recordings are. Obviously I'm going to start here where the open tree canopy is so I can get some signal, because whenever I start down through there I always lose the signal. So hopefully by starting here it will pick up the signal sooner. So that's enough waffle from me. Let's get on with this workout. Let's burn the lungs, and I'll touch base with you at the end. This is not a workout I'm going to record during. This is one I'll touch base with you at the end. quick update. 75, 77, 75. Okay, massive GPS wobble. 119, 120, 121, and I'm noticing each time I'm running further and further and further. I'm like, I stopped at that post last time. I'm doing another 10-20 meters, so that's fine. The effort's there. 200s, keep them on the flat, I think. So there we go, workout complete. So the 200s were 37, 39, 39, 39. So I don't know how I feel about it really. I mean, a massive GPS wobble in the second half of those 400s, and yeah, I mean, I knew that there's a GPS black spot here. If you're following the marathon and half marathon training series, you'd have seen I've done workouts up and along here and suffered with GPS issues, which is exactly why on my watch today I just had the split time and not the pace or anything, because if I see the pace dancing around, I tend to I try not to, but I do sometimes lose my head a bit. And I think to myself, I'm going slower, and actually I'm not. So I was just trying to think to myself, if the GPS did go, which it did, work on perceived effort. And the effort was there for all of them. I didn't feel like I slowed down. And the major thing that I'm really pleased about is my glutes are throbbing. They really got a good work there. So I was fighting the hips, I'm not gonna lie, especially in those last few reps. I could feel my body wanted to switch into kind of shuffling more than driving the knees. But I was like, no, if you get anything out of this workout, drive those bloody knees, because that's what you've not been doing for so long. So yeah, I mean, overall, the times are a little bit disappointing, but I guess when you're running through canopy, yeah, there's some open spaces, but you know, I guess it's not ideal, is it? So maybe next week or the week after, when I do my another track style interval, I'll head out onto the industrial estate and try it on the concrete, because obviously we were splitting 75, 76s not that long ago in some of the workouts we were doing a few months ago, and the 200s were 36s and 37s. So I know I've been losing the speed a bit, but I don't think I've lost it that much. The 400s felt a little bit like 75s and 76s rather than 80s and 81s like it was at the end. And you know, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the fact that it's around that point. I want to be quicker, but I know that I can't just want something. We've all got to work for it, haven't we? So yeah, I guess that's the first workout back. We'll go back home now, get another 3-mile cool down jogging, and then we'll talk about the rest of the week and what we've got planned for Thursday's workout. So not exactly where I wanted to be sitting and talking to you guys about the workout and then the plans for the block, but do you know what? I just got to roll with life at the moment. Got home yesterday from the run, and absolutely it was just chaos. Life is mad at the moment. It's now Thursday when I'm recording this, to the day after, and it's now 5 to 5, and I'm waiting for my daughter to come out of school. So I just thought I would bring the camera, grab 5 minutes and recap everything, and then talk to you about the plans for this block. So in terms of the workout, it's one I've just got to take based on effort. After talking to a couple of people yesterday, the sensible option is, if my goal now is to be working on cadence, form, strength, really activating those glutes, getting them working, I've really got to take these shorter, sharper 400 meters, 200 meter, those style of intervals off the trails, and really focus on doing them on the concrete, really to work on that turnover, because obviously on the trails grip is a little bit less, cadence is a little bit lower. On the concrete you can really work on form a little bit better, get that quicker turnover. So that's going to be the plan for sure moving forwards. Maybe not so much the tempo intervals that are going to complement that. That's fine if I want to do that on rolling terrain and stuff like that, but the shorter, sharper VO2 max intervals, shall we say, they're going to be done on the concrete as of next week. So I'll be glad to get a decent set of results in next week, and we'll see. Obviously I've got my workout plan for next week, so we'll see how that goes. And it was quite demoralizing. Obviously I was starting in exactly the same place at either end, and noticing as each rep went on, I was running further and further and further. So I knew the time was off because I was putting in the same effort. I could see I was running past where I finished on the first one. and then the third one and the fifth one, and vice versa on the second, fourth and sixth on the way back. So yeah, just one I've got to take by effort. It's in the bank. Felt good to get something like that done, and I can't wait to now kind of fast forward 3 or 4 weeks to start to feel like this stuff gets easier, because it's completely different. So in terms of plans for the block moving forwards, I'm not ashamed to say now that I'm quite happy that I'm going to be keeping these workouts quite small in volume. I've spent almost a year now doing big marathon workouts, big half marathon workouts, and yet my long runs will still be of a decent length, anywhere between 15 to 18 miles probably. I'll enjoy them, and I'll never sacrifice my long runs, whatever I'm training for, whilst I'm coaching myself, if that makes sense. But I will incorporate some speedier stuff into the long run workouts whilst I'm doing that in this shorter block. So these long runs now will probably be a little, maybe around the 15-16 mark. But we'll have a bit more intensity about them, just to dial in a little bit more of the specificity that I need for this shorter, sharper stuff. With the Tuesday and Thursday workouts though, I'm not afraid to say that for the next 8 to 10 weeks, what I've planned in terms of volume, the tempo workouts that are going to be done on a Thursday don't take longer than 30 minutes at maximum, and they start around 20 minutes, I think. So there's a small progression, but it's not going to be big in volume. And again, the VO2 max workouts are not going to be big in volume. I think, what was it this time? Is it like 14 minutes worth of work or 16 minutes worth? I can't remember. It's quite small. In terms of, you know, not including the recoveries, and then I think I go up to like 24 minutes. So I'm quite excited to not feel permanently fatigued. Yes, these workouts hurt, but I don't ever feel a long-lasting fatigue from doing these, which means I'm going to be able to focus a little bit more on easier and moderate mileage in and around that. So my week is now going to be built up more of the easy and moderate, steady mileage, shall we say, in and around it, including the warm-ups and cool-downs, and then I'll have the intense stuff, but there'll be less of that middle ground half marathon pace stuff. The only time I'll be touching that will be on a long run workout on a weekend. So that's my plan for the block, and that'll take me up to the new at 9. From there, then we'll reassess and we'll see how we're getting on. But I really want to give this a good go. Really want to knuckle down now, get this speed work done, and feel good about getting that top end work in me, because it's what I lack. And as you can see, I was running like a flailing giraffe, so I really need to tighten up my form massively. So there we go, that's my thoughts on the workout. Pleased with it all, but lots of work to do. Excited to fast forward, as I said, and see how the results are in a few weeks and compare back to this week, and yes, go from there. So that's it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Until then.